So as mentioned, typically when you have an electronic parking brake, you need a scan tool in order to actually be able to take off the caliper, because you have to release the actuators in the parking brake motor. So that's where, again, the scan tool comes into place. So usually if you take a look, they'll have a section that says electronic parking brake. It's not a part of the ABS system, it should be its own separate tab. So we would go ahead and click on that. And then on the tabs, there's a few different selections that you can choose from. So you have like codes, clear codes, data. What we want is we want to click on miscellaneous functions. And then we want to click on service procedures. Now, this actual screen says this procedure allows for the rear brakes to be serviced, which is perfect because that's what we want to do. And then we hit continue. Alright, so in the screen, which you'll see screenshots up here, we have a few different options. So we have stuff that's specifically for maintenance, so when you're doing rear brakes. We have also stuff that's for calibration, as well as diagnostic purposes. For these ones, we only want to work with the ones where we actually trying to remove the caliper to do repair. So we're doing maintenance open, so we click on that. And as you can hear, they're actually releasing the actuator, so that way you can go ahead and safely remove this without damaging anything. Because again, these calipers, especially with the electronic pieces in it, is a lot more expensive than just your 1996 Jeep calipers. So once that's done, you take it off, and then when you're going to go put it back on, you would go ahead and have everything secured, and you hit maintenance close. And again, as you can hear the actuator closing in. And then once you have both of the rear brakes on, you want to kind of make sure that everything's functioning properly. So we have a tab that's called Assembly Check. And as you can hear, that was actually the motor closing the caliper, so that way it knows it's able to close, and then releasing it again. So pretty much essentially if you're releasing or actuating the parking brake from inside. So this is your typical setup when you're working with electronic parking brakes and you're doing any removal and replacements or diagnostics. You make sure you have a scan tool that's applicable and is able to activate those functions, and you follow service procedures, and make sure you always check your do the assembly check before you let the car go.